Girl opens my house door, y'all, and she looking at me like, what do I want at my house? This is my house. So I'm looking at her. You seen the type of video, your girl is back with you another story time. If you new my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't have to say anything because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on what? That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the why am I forgetting my intro, y'all? I need to start back recording a lot because I always mess up my intro. But y'all already know how I start any of my story times off. I have to give y'all a little backstory. This story in particular is about the time my cousin cheated on my sister in my apartment. And yes, I can't even say that with a straight face because it sounds diabolical. But yes, y'all, my cousin cheated on my sister in my apartment. And before y'all go judging me and start judging my family tree, just know it was one of those situations where you're not my real cousin, but I've known you for forever. So I kind of adopted you into my family. That's what the situation was. So he's my cousin, but not my blood cousin. And then my sister, she is my sister, y'all. This is my blood sister. We share a dad. And I know a lot of y'all be confused. I'll be like, Asia, I thought you was the only girl. I'm the only girl on my mother's side, but on my father's side, I'm like one of two. Y'all, I'm like one of 20. And my daddy basically ran a daycare without a license. And if you don't know what that means, y'all, he ain't got no damn sense, okay? My daddy did not have any sense. So I have a bunch of siblings on my father's side. For those of y'all that's not new here, y'all know I told y'all my father is from Kingston. So I am of Jamaican descent. So yeah, y'all. So this happened back in like 2017, the middle of like 2017. At this time, I was in college and homecoming was coming up, and homecoming would happen around like September, October. And if y'all don't know about FAMU homecoming, and I don't know if it's a big thing in like other states, but everybody in Florida would come to the capital, Tallahassee, Florida, for FAMU's homecoming. It was just this big thing, y'all. We would play our rival BCU, because it's always giving Rattler. Shout out to my fellow Rattlers. But anyway, y'all, just be a whole bunch of parties, a whole bunch of events, and the whole city, like the whole Florida would come out to Tallahassee for these events. And every time, like literally a few months before this event, I would get text messages from people. People would be like, hey, and I'd just be like, who is this? Like people with unsaved numbers. People would just be coming out the works, y'all, hitting me up, asking me like, hey, do you still live in Tallahassee? Hey, where you at? Check. And this is like, auntie, I haven't heard from you since 2 funerals ago. Like, I haven't heard from you in months and years. And you texting my phone asking me if I'm still in the city. Y'all, basically, people would hit me up to try to see if they can stay with me for homecoming, because the prices during homecoming week, it would be like 3 to 5 times the prices. So they would try to see if they can stay with you. So people will always hit me up. And anytime they would be like, oh, Asia, I'm coming to Tallahassee for homecoming, I would be like, have a good time. I hope you have a nice day. Because I already know who's staying with me, y'all. My cousin. We just gonna call my cousin for the sake of this story time. Because y'all know when I do add too many names in there, it get a little mixy. So we gonna call my cousin, and we gonna call my sister, y'all. So my cousin, he had already started texting me. He had stayed with me one time during homecoming. He didn't stay with me. I think he just stayed like a night with me, y'all, and he would pay me like $200 for the night. And back then in college, your girl was broke. $200, that was like $1 million to me back then. So for homecoming, he had already told me that him and a couple of his homeboys was coming into town, and he wanted to stay at my apartment, and he was going to pay me $500. I don't know if he paid the whole $5 or if he was going to split it between him and his homeboys. I don't know how the breakdown was, y'all, but just know Asia was getting her moolah. And this probably sounds so crazy because this definitely was illegal. Like, y'all, I didn't own this apartment complex. I was not allowed to do this, but your girl was a hustler. If you're not new on this channel, y'all know I used to sell hot plates out of my apartment. I used to be a hairstylist, although I used to do hair, although I was not a hairstylist. Y'all know that. I used to rent my apartment out for homecoming. I used to be a Uber driver. Y'all already know, back then in college, your girl was a hustler. So this was like one of many of my trades, y'all. And yeah, every homecoming, I would rent my apartment out. And at the time, I really didn't mind it because me and my roommate never was home. Like, I was dating, I don't recall what I named him in my previous story time, but it's basically, I'm trying to think of what I named him. I do not know what I named him in that previous story time, y'all. But I was dating Mr. Wrong at the time. We just gonna call him that for the sake of this story time. We're gonna call him Mr. Wrong. I was dating Mr. Wrong, and y'all know, well, I'm still kind of like this. But when I like a man, I'm on him bad, y'all. Like you might as well say my apartment was for decoration. I was paying rent for no reason, y'all, because I was never home. Like I will always be at my man house. The only time I went home was to change clothes, and that was about it, y'all. Like literally just to change clothes and check if like everything was good in the apartment. That was literally it. I was never home. So it was no problem for me to have my cousin stay at my apartment with his two homeboys just for homecoming weekend, because I wasn't gonna be home anyway, y'all. I was at Mr. Wrong apartment. Fast forward to homecoming. Right before homecoming, y'all, I ended up homeless, which is crazy.
Huh?
Yes, y'all. Like I want to say by August, I was homeless for like 2 weeks. I wasn't really homeless, but y'all, I was about to be homeless. So quick little interlude. And I'm only telling y'all this because I tell y'all every story time that my former boyfriend stayed in College Club. And College Club is basically a very ghetto apartment complex. Like they're infamous for people having house parties there, break-ins, cars on bricks, shootouts, noise complaints. It was just a very ghetto apartment complex. And prior to me moving to College Club, I literally told myself that I would never live in this community just because of the bad reputation it had. But y'all, I ended up homeless like 2 months before homecoming. And the reason why I was homeless is because this girl said that she was subleasing her apartment because she was going off to the military and she didn't have the funds to break her lease. So she told me I could pay like $300. She was giving me like a special. The rent probably was like $400, and she said she was gonna pay $100 just until her lease had ended. And I think she had like 6 more months on her lease. So I took over her apartments 2 months into me living in her apartment, y'all. She contacted me and was just like, oh, the military said that I could break my lease. I don't have to have an apartment. All I have to do is let them know that I'm enlisted into the military, and like I don't need an apartment. Like I'm not responsible for this unit. So she went to the leasing office and told them, hey, I'm in the military. Like after this month, I will no longer be here. Like I can break my lease. And I ended up homeless, y'all. I was doing her a favor by moving into her apartment on her behalf because she couldn't afford to close her lease out. And then 2 months after me moving in, y'all, I had literally painted the walls, moved all my furniture in. I was starting to make friends, like y'all. And I had to move out within like, I think maybe within like 3 weeks. She told me this before she went to the leasing office and let them know that she was breaking her lease. That was that. And I ended up needing to move into College Club because like I said, y'all, College Club will hire anybody. Like you could be homeless without a job. You could be 40. Mind you, this was a student apartment complex. This apartment complex was literally right down the road from FAMU. They had 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. You could be a senior citizen, y'all, and get approved to stay in this apartment complex because it was ghetto. They literally accepted anybody. Like I came in there 3 weeks in the middle of the school semester, y'all, and I was just like, can I get approval? Did I have a job? I think I did work at Chick-fil-A at the time. I had a job, y'all, but I probably was making minimum wage, maybe like $7.25 at the time. I could have been making $0 and had no money in my account. They literally approved anybody. I'm trying to think if I needed a guarantor or anything. I don't even think I needed a guarantor, y'all. They just approved me and I moved in within like a week. So fast forward back to where I was at. Homecoming was coming up and I needed money back because like I told y'all, I had to pay the moving fee for this apartment. I had literally just paid rent at the other apartment. So I needed money. So that $500 that my cousin was going to give me, I was looking forward to it, y'all. The only rule that I had set out for my cousin was do not invite anybody outside of your homeboys in my apartment, y'all. And looking back, that's kind of crazy because a lot of men, they participate in homecoming from like other schools and from out of town just so they can hit on women and pick up women. But at the time, my cousin was dating my sister, y'all. My sister, this is my biological sister. We share a dad. He was dating my sister. So I wasn't thinking that he was going to be outside like that. Like I knew he would, kind of cheat on her, but I didn't know it was to this extent. Like I didn't know. I just didn't know how deep it was, y'all. Like I wasn't even thinking. Your girl was just seeing green. I needed my rent paid. Fast forward, homecoming comes. That Friday, they have the inauguration, they have pet rallies, they have dance shows, all types of events. So that Friday, I was with my girls, and then on Saturday, I was with Mr. Wrong. Mr. Wrong and I was planning on going to, it was like a whole bunch of block parties, y'all. It was a block party, and literally on our way to this block party, there was a shootout, y'all. It was like, ooh, that's actually sad, y'all. I do not recall the man's name, but RP, because somebody did passed away. It was a fatal shooting that homecoming, and once that happened, y'all, me and Mr. Wrong, we decided that we was not going to no block party. We was just gonna go to dinner, and that was that. Like, I wasn't going to no block party. I wasn't going to no parties that night because somebody did pass away. I don't think we knew that he passed away at the time. All we knew is just like we were pulling up to the block party, and we just seen people like running everywhere, and then later we end up finding out like, oh, such and such got shot. So we just decided to go to dinner. Mind you, I had clothes and makeup and shoes and all of my belongings at Mr. Wrong house. But that following day, he wanted me, I think he said his brother or somebody was in town and he wanted me to meet them. So he told me I needed to go back to my house to have like a change of clothes, because the only clothes that I had was like party clothes, going out clothes, y'all. So I contact my cousin and I'm just like, hey, I'm on my way back to College Club, and make sure you there because I need my key to get into my apartment. I just need to get some clothes. Mind you, y'all, the city was on swole. Like, literally from Mr. Wrong's, well, from where the block party was at, from my house, it probably was no more than like 5 miles away, y'all. But it was so much traffic, so much going on, that it took me like an hour to get home. Like, y'all, five miles, and it took me an hour to get home. So I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We probably made several stops. We probably stopped and got food. We probably was doing a lot. It was a whole bunch going on. And then Mr. Wrong, he was real flashy. He had got a rental for that weekend. So we probably was doing tricks around the block. We was doing a whole lot. All I know is it took me about an hour from the time that I called my cousin and told him, hey, make sure you home because I need to get into my apartment. From the time I got there, it was well over an hour. Mind you, College Club, the apartment complex that I live in, is literally on swole. Like, to get inside the gate, y'all, it probably took 10 minutes alone just to get through the gate because it was just so much traffic, so much going on. We pull up to my apartment. Everybody on my apartment is like literally outside. Like, I wish I could show y'all a picture of how College Club looked, but basically, I think they was having a party that day. If they wasn't having a party, honestly, y'all, even if they weren't having a party, College Club at the time, it will always be on. So like, people will always be outside. That was just how the community was, y'all. Everybody in Tallahassee lived in this apartment complex. So as I'm leading up to my apartment, I'm like, damn, like, I wonder who having something. Like, everybody having an event because everybody outside. Knocking on my door, y'all. And I'm just thinking, like, I know my cousin is here. Like, I'm calling him, knocking on the door. He not answering. FaceTiming him. He not answering. I keep FaceTiming him. I keep calling him. I'm like, all right, maybe he outside. Maybe, like, my cousin was a flash type of person, y'all. He liked to be outside. So I'm thinking, like, maybe he outside. He gonna call me back. I have a group chat with my roommates at the time. They all said that they was out of town this particular weekend, which was really strange, y'all, because it was homecoming. But they was like, I'm out of town, and I'm blowing my cousin phone up, blowing his phone up, telling him, like, hey, I just need to come over here and get my clothes. Mind you, y'all, it was like 9-10 o'clock at night. The night was still early, so I didn't even think it wasn't even enough time for him to even go anywhere because the night was still young. So I'm beating on the door. Probably after like 10 minutes of me beating on the door, I go back and sit in the car with Mr. Wrong. And my cousin texts me, and he was just like, I'm on my way over there. Where you at? I'm like, I'm here. I'm in front of my building. He's like, you there? You in front of your building? And I just emphasized the message. Like, I didn't stutter. I said, I'm here. I'm in front of my door. Where you at? He basically saying it's a whole bunch of traffic, but I'm on my way. We got jammed up, but I'm coming. So I'm like, all right, bet. Just let me know once you get here, or I can meet you in the front. Because if Mr. Wrong would have tried to drive me to the front, y'all, it probably would have took me like 10 minutes to the front, because that's how much traffic it was, y'all. The cars was literally bumper to bumper. Then it was a whole bunch of people outside. It was just a whole lot going on. He's like, all right, bet. So I'm in the car with Mr. Wrong. And Mr. Wrong is just like, you wow. You gave your cousin the key to your apartment. And I'm like, yeah, because y'all, this wasn't the first time that my cousin had stayed with me. Last homecoming, he stayed with me for a night, and he gave me like $500 just for a night. And $500, y'all, that was a lot of money to me at the time.
It was $200, but $200 is half of $400, and $400 is close to $500. So yeah, I just rounded it up, y'all.
So I didn't really mind it. And at the time, y'all, I would never be home. I'm sorry, but the only time I was home, if my mother came to town, I would be home. Or if I had an exam and I needed to stay home and study, that would be that was the only time I would be home. I didn't know what home was. Fast forward, maybe 15 minutes went by. I started calling my cousin because, nigga, what is taking you so long? Like, you literally said that you was on the way over an hour ago. And I was already thinking, like, he probably done stopped and did talking. Y'all know how Black people be. They be like, oh, I'm on my way, I'm coming. They ain't even leave the house yet. They ain't even left the spot. They still in a whole conversation, y'all. And I'm the queen of that. Like, I'm quick to tell somebody I'm on my way. Mind you, keys still on the dashboard. Like, I haven't even left the house, y'all. So I'm thinking he on one of those. So I'm blowing up his phone. I'm like, we have dinner reservations. Mind you, y'all, we ain't had no dinner reservations because literally we was just about to be at a block party. But I'm just telling him, like, whatever, I'm about to miss my dinner reservation. Like, we trying to go home. And the spot that we was going to was all the way across town, y'all. So it probably was going to take us an hour to get over there. He was a flashy type. He was the type... He loved outside, y'all. Like, his I can't even tell y'all his name. I almost told y'all his name. But if y'all knew his nickname, it would make so much sense. This man literally loved outside. So I'm just texting him and I'm like, where you at? Because in my mind, I'm thinking he probably done stopped by 5-6 times trying to talk to somebody. I could just picture him hanging out the window trying to talk to somebody with 3 stomachs. Like, y'all, I know my cousin. That's him. He think everybody want him. So I'm aggravated as hell. And I'm just blowing up his phone. And then the fact that you not answering the phone, you got my house keys and you not answering the phone. So I'm really getting irate. So finally, my Mr. Ron is just like, Asia, you sure he not in there? I'm like, why would he be in there? He would have been came. He was like, bro, he in there. He in there because I just seen somebody walk by the window. I said, you seen somebody walk by the window. Mind you, y'all, the window was closed, the blinds was closed, but it was a little, like, we left the blinds up a little bit, and Mr. Wrong claimed he seen somebody walk past the window. I said, you didn't see nobody walk past my window because my roommate's out of town. They not even home. He was like, babe, I promise you, I seen somebody walk past the window. So I get out the car and I start beating on the door, y'all. I'm literally beating on the door, and I'm like, ain't nobody in here. Now I'm mad at Mr. Wrong because I look dumb as hell, y'all. Mind you, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's a whole bunch of people outside. So when I'm beating on the door, it really looked like I'm making a scene. It's not like I'm just knocking. It's just like, damn, she locked out. Like, y'all, that's how it looks. It's like, damn, she locked out of her house. Damn, they locked her. Like, this is my house. I pay rent here. And I can't get in, and all these people here, like, I have a whole audience behind me. So I put my ear to the door, y'all. And why I heard somebody in there. So I started blowing up his phone more. Like, literally, you can't call. He can't even text me. He can't even text me back because that's how I'm blowing up his phone. I'm blowing his phone up, y'all. He texts me, and I'm just like, bro, I know you here. Open the damn door. A girl opens my house door, y'all, and she looking at me like, what do I want at my house? This is my house. So I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me. And then I see his homeboy, and I know the homeboy, y'all. We all from the same place. So I'm just like, Craig, where's my cousin at? He like, oh, he upstairs. Who is this in my house? Who is this? Yo, I'm literally going, I'm like, who is this? She gotta go. He like, all right, shawty, you gonna have to go. And the girl's still looking at me. And it's just like, how are you looking at me? And this is my house, y'all. So I run upstairs because it was a townhouse, y'all. I run upstairs. I try to open my room door. My door is locked, and I hear a whole bunch of music playing. So I'm like, I thought I told y'all not to have nobody in my house. At the time, y'all, I'm thinking, all right, y'all done crossed the line. It's one person in my house. But no, y'all, when they finally opened the door, another girl opened the door, and she looking at me like she not in my room. This is my room. That's my nightstand. That's my towel. That's my dresser with the Febreze on it. That's my Febreze. This is my house. And you looking at me crazy. So I'm like, all of y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. You gotta get your shit. You gotta go. And still, y'all, my cousin ain't nowhere to be found. So I go to my bathroom door. He like, I'm coming. I told you I was coming. I said, bro, I've been outside for about 30 minutes now, and you telling me you've been here the entire time? He's like, yeah, I was coming. I was trying to get them to leave. I said, I told you not to have nobody in my house. And the crazy thing is, y'all, when he gets out the bathroom, he low-key like putting his hands on me. Like he's shoving me. Like, mind you, y'all, my cousin got like 4 stomachs. This is not a regular man. This man is like 6'1", linebacker, wide receiver, 250 plus, and he's like this. Like, he's like, bro. Like, he basically said, I'm trying to embarrass him. I'm like, I'm not trying to embarrass you. I told you not to have nobody in my house. And the girl looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, she looking at me like I'm crazy. And the whole time I'm thinking like, damn, you done had, y'all, it was 3 females in there. It was 3 girls in my room and it was 1 downstairs. And I'm looking around like, damn, they could have stole anything. They could have went in my closet. They could have stole shoes. They could have they could have literally stole anything. So I'm going off and the girl is just waiting there. I'm like, y'all gotta go. And she looking at me like this.
Y'all, it was given she was missing a chromosome.
The girl literally did not leave until my cousin was like, yeah, y'all, you gotta go. You gotta go. Go ahead and go. And then she started slowly moving down the stairs, y'all. I wanted to kick her in her back because I don't know, y'all. If it was me and the roles were reversed, I would be so apologetic. As soon as I heard the first knock, knowing I'm not supposed to be there, I would have flew out the door. No one would have had to come get me. I would have been out the door. So y'all heard me knocking over 30 minutes ago, but y'all in here, and then I'm a woman. You in another woman's room, and it's clearly my room, y'all. I literally had like blue and pink posters up. It's giving woman, and y'all are in here. And he keep telling them like, oh, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. They know that's your cousin. Like, I could have been your sister. Like, why are you saying that's my cousin? That's if you're not dating my sister. So I'm like, oh, and I'm telling my sister. And he keep going, and man, move. And then by this point, Mr. Ron got out the car. Cause he trying to see what's going on, because he was like, babe, I told you I seen somebody. And I'm getting mad at him because it's just like, my cousin done put his hands on me too many times and you ain't saying anything. I'm like, bro, you don't see him? He's like, what? See who? This man 250 pounds with 4 stomachs. You can't tell me you don't see him. Like, please stop playing with me. He just like, bro, like, I'm not finna get in between none of y'all mess. Grab your stuff so we can go. And I'm like, I'm not leaving until they leave. Like, this is crazy. And then the crazy part was, y'all, my cousin was saying that he wasn't gonna give me the rest of the money because he had paid me like $350 and he needed to like give me the rest of my money, but he was saying like, oh, I ain't gonna give you the rest of the money because this is not what we agreed on. And I'm just like, I told you, the one thing I told you is just not to have anybody in my house. I didn't mind that him and the homeboys was there, but the fact that you had somebody in my house, like, let alone, like, if y'all was just in the living room, kitchen, chilling, all right, cool. But y'all in my bedroom. They could have brought bed bugs to my place. Termites, anything. Like, I don't know, y'all. So me and him are going back and forth. My cousin and his homeboys, they end up leaving out. He ended up giving me back my key. I ended up locking my door, grabbed clothes, and then I went back to my place. And then later on that night, we went to like an after-hours spot, and I met back up with my cousin. I gave him the key because I did want that other 150, y'all. And that was our agreement, but I told him, like, please don't bring nobody in my house. And I'm still telling my sister. And he was just like, he didn't think I was telling my sister, y'all, because I would always tell him, like, I would see little stuff that he would do, and he would be like, bro, you ain't telling my sister. Like, one time he had made 2 Snapchats, and I told him, like, I swiped up on his Snapchat, and I'm like, you got another Snapchat account? Because why are you posting this on here? Like, if my sister knew that you had this other Snapchat account, would you be posting this on here? And I told him I was going to tell my sister, and I never told my sister about that. And I know y'all thinking like, Asia, you did not leave that man back in your house, which, oh, I did, because at the time I was financially challenged. My bills needed to be paid. I needed that other $150. At the time, I think the rent in College Club was maybe like $430, and that's with utilities, and it was a furnished apartment, y'all. So $150, that's 25% of my rent. Like, I needed that $150. Fast forward. After homecoming, literally homecoming was one more day. This happened Saturday night. Homecoming ended on Sunday. I think maybe Monday they would still have like some events, but pretty much on Sunday everybody would leave and go home, y'all. He ended up giving me the money. After he left, I told my sister about it. And my sister was just like, all right, bet. Like, she's the type of person that she not finna blast you in front of anybody. She gonna handle it in private. So I told her. He went back to me and was just like, bro, you really told your sister? I said, yeah, I told my sister, and I literally recorded you, so you can't even lie and be like, Ninja, it was you. Who else was it? Who else? who it was you. So I told her, and I don't remember what she said at the time. She didn't really say much. She just said, all right, thank you for letting me know. But fast forward now, y'all, she said she don't even remember me telling her this. But yeah, that's the story time on how my cousin was cheating on my sister in my apartment. And that was crazy, because now I would never rent an apartment out that I do not own, y'all. That was crazy. But at the time, your girl was financially challenged, and I used to be doing anything to get some money. Not anything like that, y'all, but just know I was a hustler when it came to getting that bag and making ends meet. Asia was on that, okay? And I think that was my last year renting out my, no, I rented it out that following year to my friend's boyfriend, which is crazy because I had only met that man like one time. But even then, y'all, I had made a bag. Like, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in my next stories time. Peace.